All right, so final segment. Here we go. Predicting how the NFL season is going to go down. This is going to be a 5-part final segment, and let's start with the Bengals. So the Bengals, Week 1, they'll probably will lose that game to the Vikings. I don't really trust the Bengals much this year. I don't think they're going to be that great. Their defense is not very good, so I'll give them a loss to the Vikings. And then I would probably think the Bears, probably also a loss. Yeah, I'll probably lose to the Bears, lose to the Steelers because the Steelers always seem to beat the Bengals, and I'll give them their first win against Jacksonville because I don't really think the Jags are going to be that great this year. So they're 1-3. There we go. Pittsburgh, then they will lose to Buffalo. That's not really a question. I think they can beat the Raiders though. I think they're better than the Raiders, and lose to Green Bay. So there we go, 2-2. That's pretty easy. Then we got the Browns. The Browns will lose to the Chiefs. That's the toughest game of the season for them, probably. Week 1 at Arrowhead, nobody wins. They'll beat the Texans, though. They're better than Houston, especially without Deshaun, most likely. Then they can beat the Bears. And then I think they beat Minnesota on the road, so they'll be 3-1. Then we got Baltimore. Baltimore, my Super Bowl prediction this year is Baltimore, so they're going to win Week 1 against the Raiders. I think they will actually upset the Chiefs in Week 2, and that'll be kind of their big statement win. So I would give them that win, and then I think Detroit and Denver. That's 2 easy road wins, so they should get those 2 games pretty easy. So Ravens 4-0, undefeated through the start of the season. Let's go to the South now. Look at the Texans. The Jaguars. I actually think they can win that game because the Jags. I don't think Urban Meyer will win his first game. And everything we're hearing about the Jags is that it's inconsistent and incoherent, and the players don't like Urban, and Urban doesn't like the players. So I'd give them a win against Jacksonville. Lost to Cleveland. I think Carolina is close. I'm actually going to give them a win against Carolina. And then lose to Buffalo because Buffalo's clearly better. So they'll be 2-2. Then we got the Jaguars. So the Jags are going to beat Denver, I think. That'll be their first win. And lose to Arizona, and I have them losing to Cincy. So they'll be 1-3. Tennessee now. I think they probably beat Arizona. Week 1 at least. Derrick Henry, at least in Week 1, Derrick Henry will be healthy. Lose to Seattle, though. Then they play the Colts. Now, the Colts usually beat them in Tennessee. So I'll give that win. I'm going to give it to the Colts, actually. I'm going to give it to the Colts. And then, they'll beat the Jets because the Jets are terrible. So the Titans will be 2-2, hanging around there. And then the Colts, they'll lose to Seattle. And they'll probably lose to LA, too. And Miami, that's going to be close. Playing against, I'm going to give the Miami the win. So the Colts will start off 1-3. So Texans and Titans actually tied for that division so far through 4 weeks. Let's go to the East now. Buffalo will beat Pittsburgh, beating Houston. I already have that. Miami, I think I'm going to give Miami that win. I think Miami's probably better at home at least. I think in Buffalo would win that game. And then Buffalo against Washington, good game. I'll give it to Buffalo. I'll give the home field advantage, puts Buffalo over the top there. Then we got Miami. They'll beat New England. They're not going to start 4-0 though, so they will lose. They'll lose on the road in Las Vegas. So New England then they'll beat the Jets because the Jets are going to be terrible. New Orleans is close. I like New England though in this one, especially because they're the home team. But they're not going to beat Tampa. Tom Brady revenge game. We all know he's going to win that. He's going to want it much more. Brady versus Belichick. That's a game that we're all going to watch. Jets, Carolina. So that's interesting. Sam Darnold plays the Jets in his first game with the Panthers. So his first game, not as a member of the Jets, is against the Jets, and he will win that game. It's a revenge game for him, and the Panthers are better. And the Denver Broncos are also going to beat them, so the Jets are going to start off 0-4. So there we go. Moving over to the AFC West, the Chiefs will beat the Browns, lose to the Ravens, then they play the Chargers. That's a win, and they beat the Eagles too. That's not even much of a question. I have the Raiders at 1-2. They'll probably lose to the Chargers Monday night, so that'll be 1-3 for them. Chargers now, they're at 1-1. They probably can beat Washington. I feel like, that's probably a win. And then I'll give them a loss to Dallas because I think Dallas is going to be good early in the season. They're one of my favorite teams that is they're going to peak early. Watch, Dallas will peak early, especially when Dak is healthy, until Dak gets hurt, and then they're going to fall off. Broncos, Giants, same as Week 1 last year. The Broncos lost last year, I believe, in Week 1 to the Giants. Let's see who wins it this time. I'm going to give it to the Giants, yeah. So, there we go. No, it was week 2 they lost to the Giants. So here we go. NFC Packers. I have them with a win to the Steelers. I think they can beat the Saints. It is a road game, though, and it is hard to win in the Superdome, but I do think that, Jameis' first start, the Saints are going to be a little rusty, so I'll give the Packers a win. They'll beat the Lions. That's easy. 49ers, I'm actually going to give the 49ers this win. I think this is the statement win for San Francisco, and I really do like the 49ers this year. I view them as serious Super Bowl contenders, like I've been saying. So, yeah, I'll give the Niners that win. Especially if it's Jimmy G, the Niners win that game. If it's Trey Lance, they'll get destroyed. Bears, well, they're going to lose to L.A., and they'll beat Detroit. So, Andy Dalton, assuming he's still playing by week 4, Andy Dalton starts off 2-2, because Detroit should be an easy one. And then, we'll go from there and see if they can do any good. Vikings, I have them at 1 win, 1 loss. Arizona, they probably lose to them. And probably also to Seattle. That's probably 2 losses. So they're going to be 1-3 to start the season. They win week 1, but lose 3 straight after that. And then we got the Lions. They already have 3 losses, and we'll just give them a 4th. The 49ers will beat them each. So Jared Goff, 0-4 to start his career with the Lions. Not all that great. Tampa Bay Buccaneers now. They play the Cowboys. They should be able to... Actually, I'm going to give the Cowboys a win here. I think they're going to shock everyone, beat the Bucs in week 1. A huge statement win for the Cowboys. And like I said, they're going to peak early. The Bucs are going to peak late. But the Dallas Cowboys are going to peak early. They'll beat them on Thursday Night Football. That's the first game of the season. Then Tampa Bay beats Atlanta. That should be easy. And the Rams is going to be super close. They lost the Rams last year. Brady's going to want it bad. I think I'm actually going to change that to a loss. I'm going to give it to the Rams. I think the Rams are another team that's going to peak early because Stafford's not going to be good late in the season. He never is, but he's going to be good early. So then we got the Panthers. Panthers, I have them beating the Jets, losing to Houston. New Orleans will be close. I'll give it to Carolina because they're at home, and also just because I think Winston without Michael Thomas is not going to be great. And then they'll lose to Dallas, so they're 2-2. Saints, I have them at no win, so I'll give them their first win against the Giants week 4. So they'll be 1-3. And then the Falcons, they'll beat the Eagles in week 1. I feel like Giants and Washington, they'll win one of those and lose the other one. It's kind of just a toss-up. I'll say they probably can beat the Giants, lose to Washington. But that's, it could go either way in that one. Give them 2-2 for the Falcons. Go to the NFC East now. We got the Cowboys. I have them at 3-0, and I'll give them a 4th one. I think they beat the Eagles pretty easy there, so they'll start the season undefeated 4-0. Then we got Washington. Washington 1-2, so we'll make them 2-2. I think they can beat the Giants. I think they split with the Giants this year, but they'll beat them at home, lose on the road. Then they got the Giants are 1-3. Look at that right there. No more games to predict for them. And the Eagles, 49ers, they will lose that game. So the Eagles are going to start out 0-4 this year. So finally, the NFC West, we have 3 undefeated teams, but one of them is not going to be undefeated for much longer. Let's see, Rams, Cardinals. That's probably a Cardinals victory. So yeah, I'll put the Cardinals and Rams are both now 3-1. And then you got the Seahawks, 49ers. I'm going to give that one to the Niners, I think, because the Niners usually beat the Seahawks in San Francisco, and the Seahawks usually beat the Niners in Seattle. So I think that's probably how the season split goes down. So there we go. Niners are 4-0. They are going to be on top of the division to start off. Seattle 3-1, still hanging in there. It's going to be such a good division this year. I really do think they're gonna have 4 playoff teams from that division. So yeah, the Cardinals right there at 3-1. They lose the first game but win 3 straight. And then yeah, from there, yeah, just checking out all the standings. Got the Ravens on top in the North, Browns 2nd, Steelers 3rd. Steelers are just right there in the playoffs as well. Bengals lagging a little bit behind. Texans and Titans atop the South. That's kind of interesting. Dolphins, Bills are going to be a great divisional battle to watch all season. Patriots are still hanging around the playoff hunt right there. And then the Chiefs and the Chargers are the contenders from the West. No real surprises so far. Look at the North. Packers leading the Bears. Not much of a surprise. Buccaneers, Panthers, and Falcons in the 3-way tie. All of them are 2-2, and the Saints only a game back. Cowboys getting off to a hot start. They're 4-0. Washington 2-2. And then the 49ers have a 1-game lead over the Cards, Rams, and Seahawks, who are all 3-1. 3 undefeated teams. I'm predicting the Ravens, Cowboys, and 49ers to all be 4-0. The Jets are 0-4, as are the Lions and the Eagles. So 3 undefeated teams, 3 winless teams. And there you go. There's my start of the season predictions. So at this point, this is going to wrap up my first ever episode of Beyond the Game with Levi Couvert. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe down below for more great, epic content. Thanks for watching.